in. Okay. I know most of you, Dre, I'm new to you and you're new to me. So I'm really glad to have you here in the series. This is our second in the Mood Spa series. And then we had one the week before, or maybe 2 weeks before we started that, where we really talked about frequencies and, how to work with frequencies and how you can build your field and how your field interacts with the world. If you're interested in information on that, I can maybe get you some information or a recording on that. But you know, all of these do stand alone in the sense that they are all guided meditations. And hi, Diana. I'm so glad you're here. Yay. You made it on time. Yay. Um, so they do stand alone, and we will just go ahead and dive right in, and it'll be flowing all the way through. Um, the other thing is I want to say too is that I will be holding discussion groups, along the way where we can get to know each other a little bit better. But it is more of a kind of lay back and sink in and receive tonight. It is also an energy healing. It's a deep dive into consciousness, the consciousness of your heart, of your body, especially of your body. These are body focused, much more than mind focused. So I hope some of you have lit your candles. Make sure you have some water nearby. Plump up your pillows if you have some. And so, what this topic is about tonight's nighttime for me on the East Coast. I observed along through the years with my private coaching clients and in my life and with family that very often people have good intentions, really good intentions, but those may not be visible for many different reasons. But people try in their own way to do good and to show up. And between balancing their challenges and their lives, from A to Z, much of their goodness can go unseen or unheard. And when others don't recognize the good in us, we often don't recognize it ourselves. And we can go years. I've seen people go into their 80s and 90s, that not even realizing that they haven't been recognized. And when we all should be. It's not that we don't trip up or make mistakes, but it's time for us to recognize each other and to recognize ourselves. So all of us, all of you may have gotten recognition at times, maybe when you did something that somebody else wanted you to do, right? That's when you're likely to get recognition. Oh, you did good. You did what you were supposed to. You did it right or quicker or best, or you made me look good, right? You won the contest, but maybe somebody else's idea of success. Um, but one way or another, there have been good intentions in all of our lives that have gone by the wayside. Some people don't remember far back in their life, but this often does start in childhood. And so it can't be understated that um, not being recognized for your good intentions can hold your spirit and even your immunity, and of course, your vibrations down. We live in a world that has become disconnected. It's very strange juxtaposition because we become global. And I know so many of you here, and we become very, very close spiritually. But at the same time, we used to be recognized by our neighbors and our community, but most people don't. I've been in my town for like 6 years now. I don't even know my neighbors. I know people all over the world that I'm really close to, but and so we're going to go on this beautiful journey into your soul's mission and a deep recognition of your own sacred intentions. And we'll go into a mind body infusion to lift your vibration sky high. And this is going to feel different than it did last week for those of you who were here last week. But one member told me after last week, she felt like a jellyfish. She said she was like so relaxed and peaceful all week. Um, and today, our journey to lift vibrations is going to be that of great warmth and yummy centeredness and grounding, and still just as effective in clearing and uplifting us. So, we're going to have a meditation. Then we'll go into the sharing of what we've experienced. And then we're going to go into a deep frequency infusion. And along the way, we're going to be building an amplified field together. So this is a really feel good evening or day ahead for all of us. So we're going to start with a meditative journey onto our sacred paths of intention, of your good intentions, your desire to do good and to be honest and true. We'll start right now just with an opening relaxation. So get really, really comfortable, fuzzy slippers, blankets, pillows, whatever you have. You can close your eyes and allow yourself to just settle into some silent moments. We're going to let this silent space settle into our minds. Silence can be so, so soothing. And feel the silence around you coming in to unburden all your worries, to erase all your lists for the day, for the days, the weeks, the year. Allow this silence to emanate gently into your nervous system. Feel the ripples of comfort, of this stillness moving through your nerves. From your auric field, and then right around the outside of your skin and your body, rippling very gently inward, touching your muscles, your nerves, sending well-being into your bones. And let this blissful now moment billow down softly to your heart. Really relax. Feel the embrace of allowance here. There's nothing to do in this moment, only to be. In this now moment in your heart. Get cozy in your heart. Settle in gently and feel your heart energy so precious, so healing. This is your signal to the world. From this sacred space, begin to put your attention onto gratitude. Pull in your knowing of gratitude. What does gratitude feel like? Can you feel the warmth arising? Feel the richness of this frequency that brings an embrace from the universe, from life itself. Allow this feeling to spread and emanate throughout your body and your mind. Give yourself this gift. Feel the exquisite nurturing from you to you, given from your heart. And let yourself begin to be aware of the moments in your life that you gave in any way. That you showed up, that you were there for someone, that you tried and you hung in there, and then you got there for someone. And the time when you made that choice, yes, that choice that was hard, really hard. There was that decision you made once that others were not on board with, but your good intention was to align with your soul, and you knew it would bring good for all in the end. You just knew deep, deep inside that it was the right choice. You felt it. You knew it was the path you needed to take. And then you took it. And then, lo and behold, more was revealed down that fork in the road, that destined fork. Sometimes right away, and other times it seemed to take forever. But then it all made sense. Even when no one else understood. And because you thrived, others saw that they could too. They benefited from your awakening, from the ripples that resulted from your enlightenment, from that decision. from that good intention. There were so many times that you were misunderstood, but you meant well. You really tried. You had love in your heart. You wanted to help. You liked. You loved. You gave. You gave a lot. There have been those times along the way that no one even knew about your choices that were actually made on others' behalves. Maybe your kids, maybe your pets, maybe your siblings or parents. Or maybe it was that move away. You left for reasons that only you and your soul understood. And the other time when you took up for someone when they weren't around, you had someone's back, a child, a friend they never knew. But the universe recognizes you, spirit recognizes you. So much you have done in your life, so many good intentions, so many acts of kindness, silent wishes for others, prayers on high. At those times when that person really, really needed it. Blessings unspoken. It's time to recognize you, this time, this space, for you to recognize you. This isn't the time for humbleness, not time to be demure or shy. Definitely not the time to deflect or deny yourself. This is the time to give yourself some credit, even if the world didn't. It's not boastful. It's to remember when you were young and you wanted to do good, but they were too preoccupied to notice. Those years when you tried to help someone feel better, but they were stuck in a hidden place that you couldn't see. You tried so hard to see it, but it was dark, too hidden. Rest in your own heart for a moment. Feel your heartfelt attempts to do the best that you could in that moment. Remember taking the time when you were still growing to sit, even for a few minutes, to talk with maybe a senior, maybe a grandparent, maybe someone that no one else seemed to be with. Your toes were jumping to go run with the cousins or the siblings or the butterflies, but you stayed. or whoever it was that needed that minute, just a minute. And that time that you stayed with someone as they rocked in sickness or they laid for days to come. Remember the eye contact that you had with that stranger who seemed to have rarely communed with another human soul, who rarely got recognition. Someone on the street or in front of a store or at the edge of a crowd. But you looked at them and you smiled a genuine smile. You got gratitude back. You saw it through a glint in their eyes. Remember that pet that you cared for many years. And you cuddled and you talked to them and you were devoted. Your loyalty is ironclad. You were there until the end. Think of that volunteering, cleaning up in nature. The environment thanks you. Serving food to the homeless or singing to seniors. They remember it still. Maybe you left at some critical crossroads in your life to spare someone in some way, though they will never really know it. Or maybe you stayed another time to save somebody else. Maybe you kept that job for decades to be sure that others were sustained, stable. Maybe you moved across the country or across the world and now teach others how to find their authenticity too. These are world-saving, life-saving intentions. You've lifted a spirit in your life. You made someone's day. You helped them believe in themselves. You are an incredible, sentient person. So many little moments that you passed off as routine or just the way it is, but really you have made a difference with your good intentions for a friend, an animal, or a stranger. You are more significant than you could ever imagine. Your efforts have invisible ripples that direct the course of humanity's evolvement forwards. Really. Your thoughts, your good intentions are that important. They matter. It matters. You matter. Take a moment to steep in the ways that you tried in this life. That trying was good. It is great. It makes all the difference. Never stop. Thank you. Thank you for every good intention, for every desire to make things better, for the love and the care that you've extended. I thank you. And life thanks you. Carry on. And let us just be with this field for a moment. We're going to share for a few minutes before we begin our frequency infusion. And let yourself just be with this and unmute when you're ready. And I'd love to hear what's coming up for you. Before we move on to the next segment.
I can go ahead and share.
Yes, thank you.
I just want to first thank you and Spirit for bringing that through you to the group. I really needed that. like just tears. But it's so perfect. One, kind of like what we were talking about earlier about embracing the humanness. And also, yesterday, I received this very divine message of willingness. And it was talking about how, it was just listening to a talk about being willing, and it takes a willing heart to whatever it might be, right? And I was reflecting on that for me after what the message in that for me was. And very clearly it came through, light workers, spiritual teachers, those are here that, like those of us that are here really doing service to try to help this great upshift in the world. We are all about service. We're like, there's so much willingness in us to give and give and give and just here, how much more? What else can I give you? What else can I do for you? How else can I serve? And it was so powerful. You have to be just as willing to receive that for yourself. Just as willing to receive that. And it's not just that like, oh, I'm open to receive. No, it's that I'm willing to receive. And you even said it, you're like, this isn't the time to be humble or, like defer the compliment. I mean, just like, even how often do we do that in subtle ways when we think we aren't doing it? So how can we open and be willing to receive the goodness that is here? So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Khadijah. Um, in the frequency work that I do one-on-ones, because I do I do a lot of different avenues of psychic and sensory, but the frequency of receiving is primary. It's primary for every single client that I have. And it's like epidemic that we don't know how to receive. We don't. We're so, like you said, and even though we think it's a light worker's, I mean, you said it all. It's like a light worker's job to give, but if you're not receiving, it's not full spectrum. It's not wholeness. Creates the imbalance. Such an important point. I hope that your heart is receiving. Who else can tell us what you experienced with that? Diana.
Hi, thank you. Thanks everyone. I had to kind of sink in a little bit, you know. My day was still like bouncing around in my head and work stuff and all that, you know, and then I was able to kind of sink in deeper and deeper, and I saw a lot of things go by with you know, really significant relationships in my life where I was giving. And I know Sheila knows this about me, maybe not others, but you know, we just losing family members and, you know, serious illness and caregiving, you know, helping my mother and, you know, a lot of things. And so there was like a quietness to it though, where I felt a little more detached from it. So I could appreciate, you know, the opportunity, but also kind of the beauty of it, because being in it, it just can feel like exhausting, you know, and overwhelming and draining and all that kind of thing. But the other thing that was so nice was like I just kind of start to feel like a smile, and how rare it is for me and difficult it can be to just like feel good about myself. Like I don't know how to do that. It's like um I today I was feeling kind of put out by feeling like I'm overextending, and how am I gonna like reel this in, because I find that I have to balance, you know, self-preservation with the giving and all that. And so I was kind of coming into this evening with that question mark, you know, in my mind. But I was just, you know, kind of reminded about just trying to not give so much of myself, but trying to be that channel and trying to, you know, channel the goodness and the service and the love, um and be okay with like, okay, like I'm clocking out now. Like I'm gonna replenish, I'm gonna recharge, I'm gonna like, it's not all up to me. That's the feeling that I get too. So it was really beautiful and tranquil, you know, peaceful, which was such a gift. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Um, yeah, and you know, when we, and especially with the frequency where it's like when we're not used to, you know, receiving is also channeling. And so I, you know, I teach channeling, and it's not just channeling of being. We this is channeling of the universal frequencies. Um, and we're not used to it. So we can have all kinds of reactions in the beginning. And you know, you might even have had little moments of guilt or doubt or something, because we're groomed and conditioned in our culture to perceive it that way. But we can change it, you know, with practice you can change it. So thank you, Diana. And I'm thinking, as we start our frequency infusion, maybe I'll start with receiving. We'll put a little bit, because when we're working specifically on something, I've worked on dozens of different kinds of situations, from bosses to sports to um, uh, you know, passion and purpose and every other kind of thing. Um, we could spend like 90 minutes on one frequency, but what I'm doing here is we're going through a whole lot of different ones. But I think I'll add in, we'll start with a little receiving. Just I'll just put a little touch of that in there, because I think we could all use it when we get started. Thanks, Diana. So, and let's hear from someone else. Just, you know, what came up for you?
Um, so I'm with Diana on that. Yeah, you give so much of yourself sometimes, and sometimes, it can be exhausting because you don't receive that. Um, but for me, I just feel like it's important for me to give. It makes I feel good about it, and I know it's helping whoever is on the receiving end. But it can be exhausting when you don't get that energy back. So it has to be an even energy exchange, and a lot of times it isn't. So, but I'm trying. So when somebody wants to help me, I have a hard time receiving that. But I have to be open to it, like Connie J said. You have to really want to be open to it. But it's hard, So
It is.
I just find it hard.
Yeah, I hear you. And there is, I think, something like with givers, like you were saying you get something out of the giving, and there is like that inherent thing that we do get, but then over a period of a lifetime, you can burn out. I mean, it just depends on what's happening. But that's what part this work is about, being able to recycle and amplify the energy within, so that we're not dependent on whether somebody recognizes it or not. you know. Thank you so much, Wendy. Anybody else? Natalie?
So, for me, it felt like a journey kind of self-love and self-acceptance. Like, deep down, your soul knows your very essence, is very aware of the contribution you make in the world and in society. It felt like a reassurance that even if I don't get an external validation, that it's really happening. And really that I can go to myself for that. I can go to my higher self for that. It didn't feel so important to have it from an external source. But the one thing that I could do more for me is to ask for what it is I generate for others,
Yeah.
to, ask for it. And the universe will provide it. But mostly I just forget to even ask.
Yeah. Yeah. That's beautifully said, Natalie. Yeah. And just knowing, as you said, that the universe does recognize it. It may not be a being in another realm that's recognized, although that too, but that the universe has a way of of recognizing it. It's what sustains. I mean, you're giving all of the things that your intentions. This is really about the intentions first. It's about the intentions, because sometimes we have the best intention that is not received at all, and so but that doesn't mean that it goes unnoticed by life itself. It's still so significant to life, to life. And Dre, do you want to share anything?
It was really lovely, and I'm grateful to be here. I think I felt a lot of I don't know. I kind of been in like a place of noticing, or I've had like the awareness of noticing like my self-talk to myself and how I would like to change that. And so I really was noticing that through the meditation, and um I don't know, maybe some negative things were coming up for me, and just allowing those feelings. So yeah.
Yeah. Everything that comes up to be balanced. So as we perceive that, that's healing. It's healing. Awareness is healing as we allow it to be, right? So, okay. All right, great. And we did have there was somebody else that came in during the meditation, and then she left. So she was just here for, I don't know, maybe it was 20 minutes or something. And she said, I was saying, she wasn't getting the context that first 25 minutes or something. So anyway, okay. All right, so now let's go ahead and we'll go into the frequency infusion. We're going to settle back in. We still have time left. And so the way that this works is your only focus here is to absorb and feel every word. So this is body focused. It's not mind focused, although we are using our minds. I mean, everything is mind. You can't have mind without body or body without mind. But our minds interpret what our bodies feel. And so we're not here to we're only here to give our bodies the visceral experience of deeply feeling these high frequencies that we are going to be speaking about shortly here. And if we do move into a frequency that you're not familiar with, remember, and that could be strength or it could be visibility. I'm just, making up a few here. If there's anything you feel like, oh, I don't know, I don't really feel confidence. Remember that your imagination is a perfect tool of creation. That's what it's for. It's a perfect tool for healing. Your cells are always listening to your perceptions. And through imagination, we can create the highest vibration environment for ourselves. So so the idea is for your body to get comfortable and familiar with these higher vibrations. Because if your body's not comfortable, for those of you who said maybe you felt a little bit fuzzy or a little blocked, if your body isn't comfortable with it, you're not opening up yet. But this is the practice that will do it, and even if it takes some time, and sometimes it does take some practice and repetition, you will feel it in your bones eventually. Your bones are very, very sensitive to vibrations. Elephants actually hear through their bones. They're super sensitive. So as we are directing in a mind body way, directing these frequencies in, and we anchor in our bones, your body goes, oh, okay, I see what this can feel like, because we can create very precisely the feeling. And then your body goes, oh, I can seek this now. I can recognize this now, and I can let it in. Because if we never bring the mind and body together, your body doesn't know. Your mind might know, but your body's like, blocking it out. So once we get into the field, I'll ask you to unmute. If you don't have any background sounds, you can stay unmuted. But if there's barking dogs or anything like that, go ahead and mute. But then please do unmute and speak into the field, because we're going to be building the field together. And I'll call on you. I'll let you know. And when I say speak into the field, I'll be asking for is just speak about what these frequencies are feeling like in your body. So you might say soft or dense or fast or slow, magnetic or ticklish or sunny. And then whatever everybody else is saying, really let it in. Like if I say ticklish, let's just practice this just for a few seconds. Imagine, I want you to try to imagine for 10 seconds. What does it feel like in your body when you feel ticklish? See how much you can feel it. Like really feel it. Feel that tickling. I've got it all across my ribs is where it's coming up for me. It could come up for you anywhere. And any of these frequencies can come up for you anywhere. Could be in your feet. It could be in your hands. It might be in your back. It could be in your stomach, But we want to really feel it. And as you're feeling it in your body, your mind is like getting tickly, right? Um, and that's what I mean when I talk about speaking into the field. Okay. Could everybody feel a little bit of tickle? A little bit? Was everybody feeling it across the middle, or was that just me?
I, I did feel the middle, and then I kind of was like aware of the soles of my feet. I didn't like feel the tickle, but like there was kind of like a sensation there too. So yeah.
All right, so here we go. We're going to start with some deep breaths. We did some relaxation earlier, so we're just going to do a little bit of breathing and then we'll kind of move in. Stretch out if you need to. Begin a nice, deep, and patient flow. Inhale. Nice and slow. Holding all of that oxygen in as it's comfortable. Then very, very full exhale. We'll have several breaths on your own timing. Opening up and invite with your mind the oxygen to rush into your body on that inhale. Notice your shoulders and your back loosening up with these breaths. And on your next inhale, take in a little more oxygen than you did for the last one. See if you can notice that subtle, it's like a sparkle, I just want to say, that kind of subtle sparkling feel, as if you could see the oxygen and you could see that ignition that occurs when it comes into your body. Your body gets excited by the in-breath, by all that oxygen coming in. Gives your body a big yes. We're letting go of all else in this moment. Feel into that energy field that's all around you, as we did a few moments ago. There's always peace all around you. No matter what's happening, it's always there. Even if there was chaos and cacophony all around you, peace is still there as you put your attention on it. It's there. And peace is our base, the foundation of every field. And we'll start with exploring the frequency of peace again, just briefly, just as a grounding. Peace feels like a nest, a soft, warm, embracing nest. Let yourself get snuggled in to your own aura, your own auric field. Not needing anything else, not wanting anything else. Content in its stillness. This is peace. content to be, just to be. Feel the purity of this frequency. Clear and cleansed, balanced, and healed. Building on this field of recognizing our own good intentions, we're going to bring in the frequency of open-heartedness. Open-heartedness. And as we go, feel these frequencies, these sensations in your heart. Feel a sense of freedom, pure, unadulterated, flowing freedom in your heart. Feel your heart being unburdened completely. Allowing 100 burdens to lift up and outwards and emanating out into the horizon beyond. Feel that perfect warmth that your heart generates. And know that this is the perfect temperature that the universe wants you to have. Your body generates the perfect temperature and keeps it relatively steady your whole entire life. The temperature that sustains you so that you can live and love and create and commune. You feel the sense of giving that comes from your heart. What does your heart feel like when you are giving? You can feel the openness in this frequency. Giving almost equals opening, doesn't it? It's expansive. Open-heartedness is loving. Let yourself experience for a moment what the state of loving, be loving. What does it feel like in your heart? There's a spark, and there can be a heat, that warmth that just, the warmth is just healing. It's just a healing sensation. It's uplifting. There's a generosity. Allow your heart to experience being in a state of generosity that is so joyous, that is so loving, so happy, that you want nothing more in that moment. It's healing, great, great healing for your heart. Now we're going to bring in the frequency of reception, of receiving, as we talked about. And for this one, and I'll get us started off. I'd love for you to unmute and begin, 3, 4 times to pipe in with a word or phrase of what it feels like when you are receiving. So as I put myself into the state of receiving, it starts out a little bit foreign because it's like a change of energy. And I like to describe it as being a spiritual sponge. Like you've been squeezed and now all of a sudden you're ready to just soak it in, soak it up. And so feel yourself as a spiritual sponge. And you're ready to soak in all the goodness of life, of the world, of the universe. You're ready to soak in true joy. You're ready to soak in anything and everything that is needed by your body and by your mind and by your heart. And feel that incoming energy, that it's like water that rolls over rocks and just begins to fall between the rocks in all of the available spaces that there is. Water leaves no stone unturned. It just soaks in everywhere. Imagine all of the goodness in the world soaking in to your cells, soaking up all of those spaces between your cells, bringing you all of the goodness that satiates all that you are, everything that you could ever need, that you could ever want. Your body soaks it in. You're ready to receive. Your cells open and say yes to all that is good, all that is healing, all that is life-sustaining, all that is loving. And feel how your body just says yes, yes, yes. Feel yourself satiating. And feel yourself, as we mentioned earlier, willing. Patty J said we have to be willing. So this is one of the sub-frequencies of receiving. What does it feel like to be willing? Be with that for a moment, very viscerally. And keeping your eyes closed, staying in it, and just unmute and speak up a few times with, what does it feel like to be in a state of willingness? We want our bodies to know. We want our bodies to feel, to become familiar and comfortable with what it feels like to be a receiver, what it feels like to be willing. And speak up with some words on either of those, willingness or receive. What does it feel like in your body? When I experience willingness, it makes me feel like like a younger child, like when I was willing to try something new. It's almost like there's a bit of like adrenaline a little bit, or something like that. Like it's like I'm ready. So there's like this readiness that I can feel across my torso, like a readiness. What are you guys feeling?
Surrender.
Surrender, surrender. So let us feel surrender. Bring that into this beautiful frequency soup. Surrender, opening up, letting go, willingness,
Acceptance.
acceptance, acceptance. Acceptance is silky. There's something very just silky and I want to say flowing, but it's like the opposite of friction. It's like peace. There's peace inside of acceptance. And it's almost like peace combined with joy. And joy is just, you can feel yourself being lifted. You can feel yourself being carried in the frequency of joy. What else are you feeling with this?
Sense of freedom.
Happy freedom. Receiving. What does it feel like to be satiated? This might be very foreign to some of us. We don't often feel that way. But let's give our bodies 30 seconds of being perfectly satiated. As your beautiful mind and imagination creates this state, your body will experience it. Your body experiences everything that you think. Right now, we're thinking satiated. And this is a state that humans around the world seek in every imaginable way. We're giving it to our bodies very organically right now. Very organically. With receiving comes worthiness. Give your body the message right now that you are worthy. You are born worthy. You are truly worthy. I get a great sense of sacredness with this frequency of worthiness because it is tied so intimately to the sacred and to our relationship with the sacred. Tell your body to feel, to allow the sacred sense of worthiness. Worthiness is not boastful. It's very primary, it's very primal. You are worthy. We're going to bring in another frequency, that of courage, because your good intentions often take courage. Allow your body to feel the sensation of strength. Strength it feels invigorating. As you feel it in your body, there's like this instant kind of invigoration. It's kind of like it's like energizing. Feel that in your muscles, feel it in your arms, your back, your shoulders. Feel this sense of strength. Feel the energy rising in your spine, in your backbone. Feel the good sense of adrenaline in your gut. That adrenaline that says, I can do it. I can do it. Courage feels powerful. And it's confident. And it's also generous. And it's very expansive. Your field, your aura gets very expansive with courage because it's strong and it's powerful and it's ready. It's ready right now. That's the energy. Your intentions happen through a belief in self, in your decisions, in your actions. And this takes trust. Feel into that sense of trust in your own decisions. And though we all experience confusion and doubtfulness at times, we're focusing on those intentions where we trusted ourselves. It's those times that we're focusing on. Even if it was one time, even if it was years ago, let yourself experience in your body being grounded in your intuition about what is the right thing to do. And every one of us, at times in our life, there comes that moment, and it comes in an instant. It might have been years and years in the making, but then each of you have experienced, we've all experienced that instant when we know what is the right thing to do. We know it. And that's where the trust and the confidence now. Your body then is in the state of trusting and confidence and wisdom and resonance. When we are resonating, we're in perfect harmony with that decision, with that action. We're in harmony with it. And it's an amazing feeling, that certainty. Let your body experience that. Remember that feeling. Dig deep to feel what it feels like in your gut. because you're giving your body the experience of familiarity with that, and it makes it easier to get to when you want to get to it as you practice feeling. Feel what it feels like to be forward facing and proactive. And also, these are all sub frequencies because that contains resonance and wisdom and confidence and trust. Can you feel the that sense of certainty and confidence is just I'm trying to find the right words for it. Confidence. It's very life sustaining. It's like all your parts come together and all of your parts and your body and your mind are on board together. This is integration. This is what integration feels like. It's what mind body integration feels like, and why it's so healing. So as we experience these, we've been building a field where it's all swirling together. It's swirling and melding, blending together. Feel that harmony. Feel what harmony feels like. All containing the freedom, surrender, the generosity that we spoke about. The perfect warmth, giving, the strength and the power and the trust and the expansiveness. With confidence, with wisdom, with balance. And as you experience these, direct them into your nervous system. Right now, you're giving your nervous system the gift of this harmonious field that is so balanced, so healing. Imagine these feelings together streaming through the veins and the arteries of your body. Your body may not have felt this for a long time. Direct all of this healing into your heart to be so uplifted, to be so joyful in the recognition of you, who you are, of your significance, of your beautiful intentions in life. We're going to direct all of these into our bones. This is where we ground, and our bones love frequencies. They're so sensitive and they're so porous and they absorb and they receive. Our bones are our receiving teachers. Imagine your bones being flooded with these beautiful high vibrations. Feel yourself openly recognizing yourself. Deeply opening your awareness to all that you have done. Feel the life impulse itself, the universe, appreciating your support of life on this planet. Your support of life being recognized. Feel spirit applauding your efforts. And open your full recognition of yourself. Know that those things that you have done genuinely have rippled outward, truly have touched humankind, perhaps across generations. Feel the effects that your generosity has had on the lives of others, their spirits, how you have lifted people. Know the karmic energy of cause and effect that you helped to lift into a new balance. Realize that you have made a difference in this world, within humanity. Your pure kindness of heart and mind created healing. You did that. You have made a difference in this world. Let us anchor these as we direct this infusion into ourselves to be held in a healing field. We're anchoring in those moments of good intentions from your life, for all life, for all humanity. And know that you can hold this field infinitely. It doesn't end here. You can hold this field with you for hours and days and weeks and months to come. But we're breathing it in now, breathing it in, allowing it to swirl, to sink in, and most of all, allowing yourself to be willing to receive it all. Breathing it in deeply. Just let yourself register this field so that you will carry it through the hours and days to come. You can stretch out a little bit. And I hope I hear from all of you about something you've received for all your goodness.
I kept seeing these little like constellations with little like pathways connecting little dots of light. saw it a little bit in the previous one, but a lot more in this one.
Uh-huh.
And it just seemed like it was helping, I guess just connect up, and light up some little pathways or connectors, maybe.
Well, you are stardust.
I mean, I'm
You
golden.
are stardust. We're made of the same elements, and that's where we came from. So you're really going to home. Yeah. Wow.
And just feeling relaxed but full at the same time,
Satiated.
So I
Yeah.
think it's, we release, but we forget to bring in the new sometimes. And I feel very full of joy and love and spirit. Yeah.
Well, this work is based on the neuroplasticity, meaning we can rewire not just our minds, but our bodies, and that's the epigenetics. We absolutely can with practice, and that's what this is all about. So thank you all for being here. I feel this field is really, it's tight knit, isn't it? I mean, there's just this just like yummy, really wonderful. I can just, it's palpable. Like I can really feel the vibes coming from all of you. It's beautiful. I know I'm going to be holding this one with you. Okay. Well, I feel like a mama bird sending all the fledglings out into the world now. How's everybody feeling?
I just wanted to share, you said, I hope I hear from all of you with what you've received. And I just want to share the word that came in was goodness. And so it was just like this, like this sending it back to you, all the goodness and all the love that you shared with each of us today. And just feel so grateful. So thank
I
you.
receive. I
Uh-huh.
receive. Thank you. No, that feels amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Okay. Well, come and be with us next week. I know most of you will. Dre, come on back. And we'll be getting into something else just as delicious. And we'll carry on. So have a great week, everybody. Can't wait to be with you again next week. Bye for now. Much love. Bye.